Good morning, Bates. It is Friday. It's a rainy Friday. I'm here with Mr. Fonseca. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Excited to spend another day with all of our Bates scholars. How are you doing today, Mr. Softic?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's Friday, the last day before break, where everyone's going to get a little much needed rest and relaxation after a really good 2 weeks of being back to a full day, which is really hard. It's a longer day, so you have to maintain and sustain as long as you can, working hard with the teachers. So it's going to be a well-deserved break. But first, it's Friday, but we got to get through one more day of some hard work, right?
That's absolutely right. And we're expecting to see our students finish this week off strong.
Absolutely. So today it is raining out, and we've been eating outside, but because of the weather, we are going to have indoor lunch and recess today. So the schedule is going to be much different than it has been the past 2 weeks. And so we want to make sure that everyone is listening to all the adults involved in, talking about the new schedule. In terms of lunch, most students will be having lunch in their classroom. There are a few students whose families have opted in to eat outside under the tent. And your teachers know who those students are. But if you are eating lunch in the classroom, or you want to make sure that you stay seated, because you will have your mask off, and that you make sure that you clean up after yourself, and we leave the classroom as clean as it was prior to lunch. All right. And then some of the transitions to recess are going to be a little bit different. Some classes are going to go to the gym, and some classes might have to go to a different location for recess today. But don't worry if you don't go to the gym for recess today, because the next time we have rainy day weather, we're going to rotate through. All right. So make sure everyone has an opportunity to have gym on a rainy day, taking turns. All right. So we want to be fair about that. So again, there's going to be some different transitions. So make sure you're listening to all adults who you're working with today, because you will have some new adults or staff members in your classroom for lunch.
Exactly.
All right. And then, as always, we want to be safe, responsible, and respectful to those adults at all times, because they are members of our community, and that's how we treat everybody. All right.
So it doesn't
Also,
matter.
go ahead.
It doesn't matter which adult you have in your classroom. If you've got an adult there giving you directions, you want to make sure to be responsible and respectful to that adult, because they're there to help you.
Absolutely. So, and then during recess, wherever that location is for you today, we will be going around, or I'll be going around with the house wheel. And those students who have not chosen a house or have not had the opportunity to choose a house because they're new to the school, we're going to do that today. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's the first time we get the house wheel out, since probably the Hub Connects Day early in September. And then before we know it, we're going to get back into our house system and our norms. But first, this is the first step. We want to make sure everyone's included and everyone has a house to celebrate. So I think that'll be a lot of fun today.
Absolutely.
All right. And as we've been pushing forward, we've been talking about, ecology awareness, and ways to go green. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at some ways that we can all go green. All right, so how to be eco-friendly. So, Mr. Fonseca, what are some things that pop out on this list to you?
Definitely saving water. A lot of our environment, 70% I think of our earth is water. And we want to make sure that the water that we actually have available to us to drink, which isn't salt water, which is fresh water, is very limited. So we want to make sure that we're always saving water. We're not just wasting the water that we use to shower, brush our teeth. We want to make sure that we're saving as much water as we can. And also, you can also see here it says recycling. That's really important as well, because recycling is a way that we can minimize how much waste we put in the environment. Waste is really bad for our environment. It pollutes our country, our environment, and we want to make sure that everything that we can recycle, we do recycle it. So instead of making more waste, we're reusing things, we're turning old things that we no longer need into new things that we can use.
Absolutely. So those are some really great ways to be green or stay green, how to be eco-friendly to our ecosystem. So what we're going to do, guys, every day moving forward for about the next month, we're going to have one trivia question that is going to can be answered by classroom or by student. Okay. And if you get the question correct, you can bring your answers to the main office and to my office, where I'll collect them. And then if you get the answer correct, you're actually going to go into a raffle. Okay. And in the raffle, there's a couple of baskets with a lot of cool items that are eco-friendly or that are green um, that you can take home. So at the end of the month, whoever gets pulled out of that will earn those raffle items. Okay. So if you get the question, if you answer the question, bring it down to the main office. All right. I'll collect them. We'll share the answer the next day on our morning announcements. And then if you get it correct or your class gets correct, you go into the raffle. All
That's
right, so
right.
that should be a lot of fun. So today's question is, what does it mean to be green? All right, or what does it mean to go green?
Great
Okay,
question.
so that's from kindergarten to fifth grade. If you do it as a class, everyone will get correct answer. If you do it individually, that just an individual student will get a raffle ticket. Okay.
Excited to see who our raffle winner is going to be.
All right. So what does it mean to go green? All right,
Right.
and Mr. Fonseca, as we continue with our trait chain, let's talk about honesty.
Absolutely. So I'm going to share our honesty Padlet that our students worked on the other day. And we students have come up with lots of important reasons to be honest, in reasons how or ways in which you can both be honest and be kind. So we've got one from Jack here. It says honesty is important because if you do something bad and you lie and blame it on someone else and they find out, then you get in more trouble than you would have if you were just honest in the first place. We can be both honest and kind by saying it's not my favorite, but I like it. Good. We got one from Maddie P in fifth grade. Honesty is important because if you're honest, you will have people's trust. But if you don't have people's trust, then you don't have anything. She says you can be honest and kind by telling someone in person nicely, like go away, don't bother me, instead of being rude and nasty to them. Right.
Great. So we have a lot of great responses here on our Padlet. And I think next week too, we'll continue to share a few early in the week, and then we're going to transfer into our next character trait. No, not next week, right? The week after vacation, that is.
Absolutely.
All right. So great job, guys. Keep earning those chains so we can hang them up, and you can represent in your house, in your community. The last thing today is that beacons of the week. 7:50 if you are in person, come up to the library, and at 8:15 if you are remote, you're going to zoom in, and we're going to record the beacons of the week, and they're actually going to be recorded for the Monday when we come back from break. So that's something to look forward to after a nice restful long break. Mr. Fonseca, anything else you want to add before we kick off the day?
I just want to wish all of our students and our staff a really well-deserved and restful break. Everyone has been working super hard, especially these last 2 weeks where we've had the transition to so many more students in person. And those that haven't come in person, many transitions happening remotely as well. So everyone have a really well-deserved restful break.
Absolutely. Well said, Mr. Fonseca. Yep. So we'll see everybody after the long break, and have a wonderful time off. So that's going to wrap up our announcements for today. And as always, it's a great day to be great.